Hello all dear friends. In this video we will talk about what maniacs, terrorists, serial killers, cannibals, who and how is imprisoned in the largest colony for life convicts in Russia. The specialized colony for life sentenced prisoners, Black Dolphin, in Sol-Iletsk of the Orenburg region is the largest in the country. To date, 619 prisoners sentenced to life imprisonment are being held here in Penal Colony 6. Newcomers don't come here very often. Since the beginning of 2022, 15 people have arrived here. Who and how does one sit in the worst prison in Russia? Cage within a cage. These are the cells here for convicts sentenced to life imprisonment. In each of them there are from 1 to 4 people. As a rule, the cellmates are sorted according to the nature of the crimes they have committed. The daily schedule is strict. They wake up at 6 a.m. and have to exercise. There is musical accompaniment, which can be heard not only in the colony, but also outside. Therefore, almost the entire Sol-Iletsk does the exercises, both the convicts and the colony staff, and in the summer, even the tourists who come to the local curative salt lake and stay at houses close to the colony. Inmates fill their bunks at 6 a.m. and are not allowed to sit or lie down on them during the day until lights out. Therefore, those who are exempt from labor spend the entire day hustling around the cell and are only allowed to sit down at the table to read. Black Dolphin is one of the few correctional facilities in Russia where almost all inmates are employed. Only the disabled and pensioners are exempt from labor. Those who have just arrived at the correctional institution and those who are in the penal isolation ward do not work temporarily. Refusal to work is equal to violation of the regime and is punishable by the statute. Life convicts have the right to shower twice a week and take a walk for an hour and a half every day. However, they also take walks in cells on the upper floors of the barracks. Upstairs there are bars, a convoy, and a roof. There is light and air in the cells, but these people do not see the sky above their heads. We had to set up 2 libraries at once. Legal literature is very popular. By the way, the convicts, being in prison, can get a higher education. Law is the most popular field of study. Probably, they hope, having studied law and laws, to get the right to release. Indeed, those sentenced to life imprisonment, after serving 25 years, have the right to parole. However, in the history of Russia, no one convicted for life has ever been able to be released on parole. The characteristic from the colony must be perfect. But so far no one has earned such a characteristic. On the door of each cell there is a picture of the convicts living there and a detailed description of the crimes they have committed. These descriptions are very scary to read. You killed 5 people, dismembered them, ate them. And when you look at the faces, God's dandelions. And you will never think that you are in front of the cannibal. But, as Andrei Viktorovich Bajanov, head of the labor adaptation of convicts of the Federal Penitentiary Service of Russia in the Orenburg region, said, "We have a lot of such dandelions here." In the Black Dolphin gathered the star composition of the criminal world. Vladimir Mukankin, nicknamed Lenin, who proudly calls himself a disciple of Chikatilo and is proud that he surpassed his teacher in the number of victims, is serving his sentence here. Oleg Rilkov, or the Togliatti Ripper, raped 37 little girls and killed 3 children and 1 woman. Vladimir Nikolaev, who treated his neighbors to saiga meat, which later turned out to be human flesh. And many others, terrorists, serial killers and maniacs are brought from all over the country to the Black Dolphin. They are sentenced to life imprisonment for terrible atrocities. However, even such criminals can be treated differently. For example, one wakes up after a stormy booze, and there are 3 corpses around, domestic violence. Another case. Among those sentenced to life imprisonment there is a man who has killed only hardened criminals, a kind of cleaner. And here is an example where there is no room for justification or understanding. 2 men are serving time in a penal colony who raped and murdered a girl for 5 hours when she was 19 years old. They stabbed the victim multiple times. After hours of torture they decided to bury the corpse. But the story did not end there. After some time, thinking the girl might still be alive, they returned and dug her up. By the way, forensics showed that she was indeed still alive. They dug her up, stabbed her repeatedly, and then burned her body. As the head of IK6 Yuri Korbov recalls, even he, a man who has worked in the Black Dolphin for almost 20 years and has seen a lot, was frightened to read the verdict. It is impossible to call such criminals even human beings. But for the staff of the colony all convicts are the same, a specialized contingent.